longer cells. It was comparable to a giant squid living today. So it's pretty amazing that these diverse groups of cephalopods, these squid and octopus type animals, all from very different origins, evolved this conversion to this giant form. All right, so why do they grow so big? This is kind of the conclusion here. So they have an interesting life history. Look at the anatomy there of a squid. This is a kind of an ordinary garden variety squid. You'll see a lot of it is devoted to digestion, and then a big part is devoted to reproduction. So basically they spend a lot of their time eating, and then they spend a lot of time producing a lot of eggs. And so they produce a lot of eggs, and actually what happens that for at least the architubus, the regular giant squid, the mating is kind of unusual. Usually what will happen is they're just it's very dark down in the like 1,000 meters down in the deep ocean. So usually when the male and female bump into each other, the male will inject a spermatophore, basically the sperm packet, into one of her arms, and then she'll use that to fertilize all the eggs. So and the squid actually lead kind of a tragic life. It's kind of like salmon there on the lower left. But what's the problem with salmon? They only mate once and then they die. It's unfortunate. So the one in the upper right, that's an octopus, and octopuses are noted for being particularly devoted mothers because they'll stop eating once they lay eggs, and they'll just fan the eggs to make sure they're getting enough oxygen, and then they'll basically starve to death. So actually the males die at about the same time, so it's not just because they're looking after the young. They all die. They have a short lives. So the amazing thing about giant squid is, as big as they are, big as a cow, they only take about their lifespan is only like 5 or 6 years, and we get that from these tiny little mineral deposits. Sometimes they're called little bones, but they're not like our bones. They use them for balance, and they're these little things in their head, and they slice them in half, and they actually form these daily growth rings. And what happens is they can count them up, kind of like tree rings, and figure out, oh yeah, this was only like 5 or 6 years old that it grows to such an enormous size. So their strategy is to grow extremely fast and then produce a lot of young, and that's how they're able to survive. So the last thing I mentioned, I said something about when will they attack next. So I don't think they're a major risk to us, but these are, again, very small squid, but I think this is amazing. They're able to fly, at least as well as a flying fish can. They can get up enough momentum using their funnel, where they use like a jet engine. They shoot water out of it to get gliding, and they glide above the surface of the water. And so these are a bunch of little ones that they actually got on video there. But this is a close-up. It looks almost like a cartoon, but if you go to this site, it's a legit site. And they have a close-up of this. It's Amistrepid squid actually gliding, and they actually can kind of navigate with using their fins and all that, and stay aloft longer than they could otherwise.